Israel says border police have killed a senior Hamas commander in the occupied West Bank. Israeli forces are pressing ahead with a major operation in the Palestinian territory, which began 3 days ago. As many as 20 people have now been reported dead.
This is what is left of the city of Tulkarm in the occupied West Bank. Roads damaged and homes completely destroyed. Palestinians are now trying to pick up the pieces in the wake of destructive Israeli raids.
The gas canisters and the store exploded, and they bombed the whole house, including the furniture. We started calling the civil defense and people to put out the fire because we didn't want the neighbors and children to get hurt. We called people, but they all fled the area and many were being arrested.
Israel says it targeted militants, killing a local commander of Islamic Jihad. The city of Jenin has now become the center of Israeli operations. The Israeli police released this footage. It claims to show its troops killing a senior leader of Hamas in Jenin while he was driving. The Israeli military says militant groups in the West Bank have strengthened and conducted roughly 150 attacks against Israeli forces and civilians over the past year. In Jenin, locals say Israeli troops are surrounding the major routes leading into the city.
The real problem's with the children. There's no baby milk available. And I've got a sick girl at home with a high fever. We weren't expecting such things. And the ambulance can't even reach us.
Some Palestinians claim civilians are the victims of the Israeli raids.
Clashes erupted here. They hit a young man. He was just a young man, merely a child. What did he do wrong? They shot him in the head, and his brother is in critical condition in the hospital, despite him having done nothing wrong.
Since the October 7 terror attacks on Israel, Israeli raids in the West Bank have increased significantly. This is Israel's most intensive and prolonged operation in the West Bank in more than a year. Nearly 3 million Palestinians live in the occupied territory.
It's important to remember that these Israeli raids are taking place in the West Bank rather than Gaza. And I asked journalist Balig Sladeen in Tel Aviv why Israel is stepping up these raids.
Well, over 2 or even 2.5 years, Israel has been conducting raids against what they describe as tourist infrastructure in the West Bank. But it all was limited operations only, and it didn't reach its goal. The goal was, of course, to try to calm down any insurgency or any tourist activities from the West Bank into Israel, and, of course, to stop any possible attacks against settlers or Israeli military targets inside the West Bank. Something like this apparently wasn't successful, and that's what we're seeing right now. This different strategy, conducting total special operations, using thousands of soldiers, including the special forces that belong to the Israeli police, and try to kill as many of these militants as possible. They already have finished their operation in Tulkarm and also in the Jordan Valley, but the operation in Jenin is still continuing even after killing the head of the operations there that belongs to Hamas. Actually, they killed him this morning, and they're continuing again in order to effectively try to eliminate any possible fronts in the West Bank.